In a world obsessed with effort, struggle, and achievement, the notion of not trying appears counterintuitive. Yet Lao Tzu introduces us to the concept of Wu Wei, a principle that defies conventional wisdom. Often translated as non-action, Wu Wei doesn't imply inactivity. It signifies aligning so seamlessly with life's natural flow that action becomes effortless. Picture a musician lost in their art or an athlete in the zone. They don't force their movements, they surrender to the moment. This is the essence of Wu Wei, acting in perfect harmony with the Tao, the fundamental force of the universe. Society celebrates relentless effort. We're taught that success is born from struggle, from pushing harder and exerting control. But have you noticed that the more you try to force something, the more resistance you face? The harder you try to fall asleep, the more awake you feel. The more desperately you chase happiness, the further it seems to slip away. Wu Wei offers an alternative: ease over strain, allowing over forcing, and flow over resistance. It's the paradox of effortless effectiveness. By not striving, we often achieve more. Wu Wei is not about passivity or laziness. It's about mastery. Imagine a skilled martial artist. Instead of overpowering their opponent with brute force, they yield and redirect energy with minimal effort. A river doesn't battle the rocks in its path. It flows around them, gradually shaping the landscape. This is nature's wisdom. Action that arises spontaneously, perfectly suited to the moment. We often believe control is the key to success. But what if letting go is the real secret? The best ideas come when we stop forcing them. The most profound solutions emerge when we relax and trust the process. Wu Wei teaches that when we align with the natural order, everything falls into place effortlessly. It's about trusting life's current rather than swimming against it. Great leaders, artists, and thinkers embody this principle. They don't impose their will forcefully. They adapt, respond, and move with a seemingly effortless grace. Modern culture equates effort with worth. Work harder, push through, never give up. While perseverance has its place, blind effort often leads to burnout, frustration, and inefficiency. Wu Wei offers a different path. Instead of doing more, do what's necessary with precision and ease. Consider high-performing individuals who seem effortlessly competent. A master chef moves fluidly. A great teacher creates an environment where learning happens naturally. The best entrepreneurs know when to step back and let things unfold organically. This is the power of Wu Wei, knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to simply allow. Nature exemplifies Wu Wei perfectly. Birds don't struggle to fly. They spread their wings and let the wind carry them. Trees don't resist the seasons. They adapt, shedding leaves in autumn and blooming in spring. Nature thrives not by force, but by harmony. What if we lived the same way? When we stop fighting against the natural order, life becomes lighter. We make better decisions because we're not driven by desperation or fear. We experience less stress because we're not clinging to rigid expectations. We become more creative because inspiration flows naturally without being forced. Wu Wei is an invitation to embrace ease, to trust that life unfolds as it should. It doesn't mean abandoning goals or ambition. It's about pursuing them with grace. It's about knowing when to push forward and when to step back. And most importantly, it's about realizing that sometimes the greatest power lies in surrendering to life's effortless flow. Humans have an innate desire to control life. We plan, strategize, and try to shape reality to fit our expectations. Yet Lao Tzu reminds us that control is an illusion. No matter how much we try, to predict or manipulate the future, life remains unpredictable. The more we grasp for control, the more it slips through our fingers like sand. Think about how we approach relationships, careers, or personal growth. We set rigid expectations, believing that forcing things will lead to success. But the more we try to control others, the more resistance we encounter. The tighter we hold on to outcomes, the more stress and disappointment we create. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means recognizing what's beyond our control and moving with life's natural rhythms. Imagine a sailor fighting against the wind, trying to push their boat forward with sheer effort. Now picture another sailor adjusting their sails, using the wind to their advantage. The second sailor understands the wisdom of surrender, working with, not against, external forces. This is the essence of Wu Wei, when applied to control, knowing when to release our grip and let life flow naturally. Lao Tzu teaches that true peace comes from surrendering to the way things are. This isn't passivity, it's about moving in harmony with life rather than exhausting ourselves fighting against it. The less we resist, the less suffering we create. The more we embrace the present, the more clarity and ease we experience. How can we apply this wisdom in daily life? In relationships, it means allowing people to be who they truly are, rather than trying to control them. In work, it means focusing on what we can influence and trusting that results will follow. In personal challenges, it means accepting setbacks as part of growth rather than resisting change. The greatest breakthroughs often come when we stop forcing solutions and allow insight to arise naturally. The most successful leaders, artists, and thinkers understand this. They don't micromanage every detail. They trust in timing and adaptability. Letting go allows us to live with greater peace and effectiveness. Uncertainty is inevitable, but we spend so much energy fearing it. What if, instead, we embraced the unknown? The greatest adventures, discoveries, and joys often arise from unexpected turns. Lao Tzu's wisdom teaches that when we stop clinging to control, we become like water, fluid, adaptable, and at peace with whatever comes. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about trusting the flow of life. In that trust, we find true freedom. Water, often seen as soft and yielding, is also the most powerful force. Lao Tzu compares the Tao to a river that flows effortlessly, adapting to its path without resistance. When water encounters an obstacle, it doesn't fight against it. It flows around, adjusts, and continues its journey. This flexibility is central to Taoism and teaches us the true meaning of resilience. In a world that values brute force and control, the Tao encourages a different approach. We're taught that strength comes from pushing harder. But the Tao reveals a paradox. True strength lies in adaptability, in the ability to bend and flow with life's circumstances. Like water, we must learn to navigate life's challenges with grace and ease. Rather than resist change, we can embrace it, knowing that flexibility and resilience go hand in hand. The principle of going with the flow is often misunderstood. It's not about passivity or inaction, but about responding to life with intelligence and awareness. When we force things to happen according to our will, we become rigid, unable to adapt to the natural flow of events. The Tao teaches that true resilience comes from moving with, not against, life's current. Think of a river. It's always moving, always adjusting, but it never forces its way. It doesn't stop when it encounters obstacles. It flows around them, finding the path of least resistance. This is how we can live, fluid, adaptable, and resilient. Taoism teaches us that life doesn't require struggle. It requires us to trust the flow of things, align with life's natural course, and respond with grace and strength, just like water. Success is often equated with relentless hustle, but Lao Tzu flips this idea on its head. He teaches that we often achieve more not by striving harder, but by doing less. The art of effortless action reminds us that by letting go of the need to control every outcome, we open ourselves to the natural flow of opportunities. The paradox is striking. When we stop forcing things and align with life's rhythm, success comes more easily. By releasing attachment to results and focusing on purposeful action without excessive force, we allow our efforts to flow in harmony with the universe. This doesn't mean inaction, but rather a balanced approach. Many of history's most successful individuals have embodied this principle, whether they realized it or not. They worked passionately, but without relentless force. They allowed creativity and opportunities to flow naturally. In the end, Wu Wei doesn't deny the value of hard work, but it encourages working smarter, in harmony with life itself. By trusting the process and acting from a place of calm alignment, we open ourselves to a deeper, more harmonious way of living. Lao Tzu's teachings remind us that life is not a battle to be won, but a flow to be embraced. The beauty of Taoism lies in its simplicity. By doing less, we find more. By trusting the process, we discover a life rich in meaning, purpose, and joy. So the next time life feels overwhelming, remember the wisdom of water, flow with the current, trust the journey, and allow success to unfold naturally.